In this video I wanted to talk about estimating using rounding, and estimation is used by many different people in many different jobs. One example I want to give in a minute is in nursing. Nurses are always having to give medicine to patients, and they have to be able to calculate accurately and then also estimate accurately in their heads to make sure that the medicine and the dosage they're giving is correct. But first I want you to have a look at this problem. It's 4,217 times 0.0625 divided by 23,563. And I would say not many people in the world would be able to accurately do this mentally. Yeah, you can do it with a written method, but I would really like you to have a go at estimating. So, have a look at each number. What do you think you could round those off to? Well, the 4,217 could be rounded to 4,000. The 0.0625, that could be rounded to 0.1. And the 23,563, that could be rounded to 20,000. Okay. Now 4,000 times 0.1. This is where you need to know how to multiply by your powers of 10. Multiplying by 0.1 is the same as dividing by 10. Right? So another way of writing 0.1 is 1 over 10. So that's going to be 400 on the top line and 20,000 on the bottom line. Cancel some zeros there, you've got 4 over 200. 4 over 200, divide those each by 4. You'll get 1 over 50. Okay, so here's my example problem taken out of a nursing book. And it says, if you have an infusion is a mixture of dobutamine, don't worry about what that word means, it's a drug. If you have an infusion of dobutamine, 800 milligrams in 550 milliliters, the dose required is 6 mcg. mcg stands for micrograms. 6 micrograms per kilogram per minute, and the patient weighs 77 kilograms. What is the rate in milliliters per hour? Okay, a lot of information there, and a few steps. Immediately you should be able to see you're going to have to take a few steps to solve this problem. First thing I do is highlight the important information. Okay, the first thing I would work out would be how many milligrams per minute. I know that the mixture is given in milligrams and the rate is given in micrograms, so I want to change that rate into milligrams. Okay, so I need 6 lots of 77, 6 micrograms per kilogram. That, well, 6 times 7, 42, 420 plus 42, 462. Now micrograms is a 1,000th of a gram, so that's going to be 0.462 milligrams. Okay, so I need 0.462 milligrams per minute. Okay. Now there's the next question you should be asking yourself is, how many milliliters per milligram? I have my rate in milligrams, I need to know how many milliliters that is per minute. Okay, so how many milliliters per microgram? If you write it like this, I've written the milliliters on top and the micrograms on the bottom. That means I need to do how many milliliters? 550 milliliters on 800 milligrams. Alright, milliliters per milligram, 550 over 800. That's the operation that you'll need to do to work this out. Again, you can see how complicated this is getting without estimation. That's why I'm going to go through how to estimate this problem completely mentally in a minute. Okay, so I'm doing this operation, 550 divided by 800, and I'm going to work that out on paper. Okay, so answer is 0.6875, and that was, remember what that answer meant? That was milliliters per milligram, 6875 milliliters per milligram. Okay, so I know for every 1 milligram I'll need 0.6875 milliliters. Okay, and I also know that I need 0.462 milligrams per minute. So how do I find the milliliters per minute? I need to take this number 0.6875 and multiply it by the amount of milligrams I need. Okay, say if this was 1 milligram per minute, then you'd know I'd need 0.6875 milliliters per minute. You'd automatically know that was how many milliliters you needed. But if it's 0.462, you need to multiply that number by the amount of milliliters per milligram. Okay. Now I'm going to do that by hand. Alright, here's my working out for 0.6875 times 0.462. Alright, so I've got this answer, 0.317625. What does that number mean? Let's go back and look at our problem again. So this 0.462, that was on red. 0.462, that was milligrams per minute. And the 0.6875, that was milliliters per milligram, right? So I've got milliliters per milligram multiplied by milligrams per minute. To find milliliters per minute, right? Okay, last thing we need to do, we need to find milliliters per hour. Let's look back at the question. What is the rate in milliliters per hour? Okay, and I've got this number, 0.317625 milliliters per minute. What do I need to do with that number to find per hour? I need to multiply it by 60. Very good. Okay, so here's my working out for the milliliters per minute times 60. That gives us an answer of 19.0575 milliliters per hour. Okay, so let's go back to the question again. Okay, alright, so what do we do here to work this out exactly? We multiplied the rate by the weight. We got how many milligrams we needed per minute. Then we found how many milliliters per milligram in the mixture. Then we found how many milliliters per minute we needed. And then we found how many milliliters per hour. So 4 steps in total. Okay, let's talk about how we can estimate this amount. First thing I'd do is round off a few things. So that weight, that's 77 kilograms, I might round off to 80 kilograms. So I need 6 micrograms per kilogram. 6 times 80, well, 6 times 8 is 48, so 6 times 80 must be 480. And I'm going to go ahead and round that 480 off to 500 because I know it's going to make the calculations I need to do later on easier if that's a nice round 500 figure. So I need 500 micrograms per minute. Now micrograms is 1 microgram is 1,000th of a milligram. So 500 micrograms must be half a microgram. Okay, so I know that I need half a microgram per minute. Then, because the rate is given as 800 milligrams in 550 mils, I want to know how many milliliters per milligram, right? Because I need to give the rate in milliliters per hour. So I want to know how many milliliters per 1 milligram. Okay, so what I'm actually doing is milliliters per milligram. When you say how many milliliters in a milligram, you can write it like this: milliliters over milligrams. So we take the milliliters figure, 550, and write it over the milligrams figure. Now I want to round each of those numbers off to make this easy to work out. 550 divided by 800, don't know. But 500 divided by 1000, well, that's easy. That is 0.5 milliliters per milligram. 0.5 milliliters per milligram. So for what does that number mean? So for every 1 milligram, I have half a milliliter. But the dose is half a milligram. So for 1 milligram, I need half a milliliter. For half a milligram, well, what's half of a half? It's a quarter. So that is going to be a quarter of a milliliter per half a milligram. So that means I need 0.25 or a quarter milliliters per minute. Hope you can see how I got to that. Okay, so I've got a quarter of a milliliter per minute. How do I get the rate per hour? I need to multiply that. Well, 0.25 milliliters per minute. How many minutes in an hour? 60. So 0.25 times 60. That's the same as asking what's the quarter of an hour? How many minutes in a quarter of an hour? 15. So a quarter times 60 is 15 milliliters per hour. Now, let's have a look at this answer. I'm not medically trained, so I don't know how accurate these calculations have to be. But compared to the actual answer, the accurate answer is 19.0575. That 15 for me would at least tell me that those calculations are accurate. Where you'd start to worry is if you got, for the estimation, you got something like 40 or 50 or 100, and for your calculation you got 19. Then you need to double check. But if you're getting 15 for your estimation and 19 for your exact answer, you know that that calculation is correct. Okay. I hope that's helpful on how to estimate with these types of problems. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.